Welcome back, everyone. Toyshiz here, and I am back yet again to give you guys another fresh look. And today we are totally checking out two brand new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse figures that are hitting store shelves now. And, well, one of them's a Batman, of course, right? Shocker. This is the Batman of Zur-EN-ARHH, and it's basically a homeless psycho Batman. Dr. Hurt was involved. It is the whole thing. Anyways, here's the barcode. You can pick him up at Targets now. And then we have the 2022 Collect-to-Build Target exclusive wave featuring Starro the Conqueror. Just like last year, Batman Beyond with the Joker bots. Now you got a collect-to-build giant Starro the Conqueror. And if you're wondering why he has three eyes, well, it's kind of like an offshoot with the whole death metal thing when they kind of rebooted everything, and Crime Syndicate Starro kind of comes from all of that. 4 different figures to collect in the Starro the Conqueror wave all throughout 2022. And yeah, he's actually, I mean, he looks like a pretty good big figure. That's what I'm kind of hoping for. It's just a big Starro figure. Now, Ultraman kicks it off. They haven't revealed the other 3 figures thus far. If they're kind of going with the Crime Syndicate motif, you can kind of guess who the other ones may be. Perhaps one of them will be Owlman. One of them will be Superwoman. Something like that. Maybe a Johnny Quick. That'd be kind of cool. Here's the barcode as well. And as you can see, it says Crime Syndicate, the new deal. So that's really, if you wanted to read up on it, which... yeah, it's okay. You could totally do that and also find them at Targets now. So, sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot cup of coffee. This is a look at the brand new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse. The Collect-to-Build Wave figure number 1 for 2022, Ultraman, and the endless Batmans, the Batman of Zur-EN-ARHH. And while I got all you DC Multiverses here, I just want to say thanks so much for always checking out my videos. If you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. Old toys, new toys, daily news updates. Guarantee you'll find something here that you like. Now, out of the 2, let's roll with the Batman, right? Of course. Now, I have to tell you, Mattel did one ways back. I never picked him up. Totally regret it. Now, this is based off of a... you know, when Batman was kind of like all sci-fi and the Golden Silver Age kind of thing. So there was a Batman from the planet of Zur-EN-ARHH, and then Grant Morrison took it a whole step further. God, when was that? That was at least 10, 15 years ago, something like that. Now, it's an experiment. They kind of led into this. Dr. Hurt, he screwed with Batman and turned him into like a mindless thing. But Batman had a backup plan, so it's a Batman without a Bruce Wayne, basically, and he goes digging in trash and somehow makes this costume. Just roll with it. It's actually a pretty sweet looking costume. I'll give it to him all day. As wackadoo as it is, it's pretty darn cool. Now, he comes with 2 accessories. He's got his old Negan bat right here, right? From The Walking Dead. It's a baseball bat with a bunch of nails sticking out of it. It's painted nicely. It's a very rubberized bat, but it does a trick for that. And then he has a knife, which is terrifying. Think of Batman with a knife. It's got some silver. Could have used a little bit more paint. Comes with the DC Multiverse stand. And then, honestly, you do get a pretty cool-looking Batman of Zur-EN-ARHH, right? So, the colors aside, the purples, the yellows, I mean, it all makes sense. Very comic book accurate. He doesn't have a lot of paint. A lot of it is kind of just like the plastic that you see, right? And you can see on the back. Very yellow, purple, red. Could have used this a little bit more of a wash, but he does have one heck of a very cool cape. McFarlane Toys always does really cool capes. This one is no exception. I really like the head portrait on this one. That's a good looking Batman. He's kind of disheveled. He's kind of got some 5 o'clock shadow going on, although they're not painted as such. That's a good thing. Sometimes they go a little bit too heavy. And they did tease that over on the McFarlane store, if you ordered a recent set of figures, you could get the unmasked version of the Batman of Zur-EN-ARHH, which... yeah, I don't think you're going to need that one, to be honest with you. But the articulation is the standard. You get it by now, right? Double jointed elbows, biceps. He does have the really ugly ball joints in the wrists, and they don't look good at all. Now, when it comes to the waist, he moves around, right? So up top, diaphragm, he can crunch a bit, not much. The waist doesn't want to move at all. That's a bit of a disappointment. Let me know on yours if it moves. The diaper, or whatever you want to say, is totally fine. This thing works for Batman. That looks great. No qualms whatsoever. It does kind of hinder the legs when you want to move them up, though. It gets very stuck right there. Double jointed knees, but here's the big problem with this Batman right here. The ball jointed ankles, one, don't look good, and two, they're very loose, and you're going to need those to stand, and standing him is a giant pain. He's got toe articulation. If you get him just right, now, of course, he doesn't do it now, but you really have to move him around. This is probably about 2 or 3 minutes of adjusting the legs. Please stop with the ball joints. It just doesn't work in the feet. The wrists, I mean, they don't look good. Stop altogether with the ball joints. The hands are so tightly plasticized, you're going to have to heat them up to get the bat in his hands. But once you do, I mean, you're giving the bat to Batman. They haven't done that since NECA Toys with the Alien vs. Predator sets, right? So it's kind of a funny thing in and of itself. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, a Batman. Get it. The knife, though, that fits in his hands, no problem, which is equally, like I said, is terrifying. You know, he's like, I cut you, man. Just think of Batman kind of tossing the knife back and forth, like total psycho in a Gotham City alley. Yeah, think of that. Now, with the Ultraman, right, he does come with an accessory. We'll get to that in just a second, because like I said, he comes with the first collectible piece of Starro. Really nice eye, very translucent. It's just the front of the vase. When I get the rest of the pieces, like I did last year, we'll have a nice video. We'll look at him in detail. But with Ultraman, as you can see, he's very blue. He's very red. And that's really kind of all he's got going for him, to be honest. I really do like this Starro or Sporo or whatever the heck this thing is. Usually Starro latches onto your face, right? We all know that. You flip him over, he's got a gnarly set of teeth and suckers and everything else to him, just like in the comic books. However, in the comic books, it has color. So that's a bit of a bummer. I really would have wished they would have painted that. That's the thing. Oh, blue suckers on that thing with the yellow teeth. The front is actually really cool. This is by far one of the coolest accessories that McFarlane Toys has done. I wouldn't mind a bag of these. That would be awesome. And again, like I said, I know traditionally Starro goes on your face, but this new Starro and how it goes, he latches on to your chest. You get the Multiverse stand, and then you have Ultraman, which in all honesty, the face portrait kind of looks, it looks okay in some angles, and then it looks kind of potato-y, you know what I mean? I like the hair, I like the eyes, but some really cool laser beam eyes, like an effect or something to clip on, would have been awesome. Yes, it is Ultraman. It's Ultraman from the blues, and he's got the little silver discs that are painted and everything else. He's got the little boots and whatnot. There's really not much paint to this guy. I mean, the logo on the front of him is cool. He's got the big windswept cape. I give it to him all day. It's a nice looking cape, right? On the underside, that's when the articulation on this guy gets very ugly, right? Thank God this part's on the back, right? So minimal complaints, it's on the back. You can see the cut right here. That doesn't look very good, right? It's very standoutish. The elbows, he's doing the whole Peacemaker thing from the Suicide Squad, where that's not attractive at all, right? He does have all the articulation. I'll give it to him. You can get him into flight poses. He's got the fists and everything else. Extra hands would have been nice, just saying. But he does have the fisted hands. They might be a little bit too big. You let me know when you get your... They kind of go either way. He actually does crunch a whole heck of a lot more than most DC Multiverse figures. He does get kind of gappy. But again, when you're doing the whole flight pose thing, if you wanted to go that route, see, you can get him to kind of crunch over, which is nice, but then he gets real gappy in the back. And then with the diaper, you see that this really doesn't work. It brings back the whole Nightwing thing. You look at the Batman of Zur-En-ARHH, that works. That's perfect. Why did they just do with that one? Oh, man. But the knees, same thing. No problems whatsoever. But with all the complaints, I'll tell you this, that yeah, the head portrait's just okay. This guy's just kind of an ugly looking figure. From far away, he's all right. You put the whole Starro thing on his chest. That's actually pretty cool. In the comics, they look a little bit smaller. You know what I mean? Honestly, I'm not complaining about that. I really do like that. I just wish you could move the eyeball around. That would be creepy and awesome at the same time. However, again, in some lights, see, the head portrait does look good on Ultraman, but largely it's just kind of like, it's all right, I guess. I do like the Batman of Zur-En-ARHH, and I like that you can, again, put the Starro. I'll tell you this right off the bat. I tried it out with a few different figures. If you have a normal-sized figure like Batman, Nightwing, Superman, things of that nature, yes, this Starro will fit. And again, I'll say, a bag of Starros would be pretty cool. And for the whole scalature, yeah, they're pretty much all in the same area, right? 7-inch figure, Batman, Ultraman seems to go pretty dang good, right? If you want to put Batman of Zur-En-ARHH with the clay face, which I do recommend. I think he's a great looking figure. But yeah, it's just a lot of fun. So in all honesty, let me tell you this. Both of these are skips, right? If you're really into DC Multiverse and you collect everything, well, then you kind of know what you're in for in that sense. Although I really don't think Ultraman is the best, right? He has some really ugly articulation. I think he's largely just a blue and a red figure. The head portrait kind of goes either way, but he's part of that collective build, so that's how they kind of get you. But we all know McFarlane, you know, later down the road, sometimes they do box sets. However, for me personally, I do like the color scheme. I like the Batman of Zur-En-ARHH and all that kind of stuff, so I do like him, but I can see where definitely a lot of people are going to go like, yeah, no. I am good. Thank you, though, for the video. Anyways, as always, I am curious to know what you guys think about these new DC Multiverse figures. Are they for you? Will you be grabbing? Comment below, let me know. Let's talk everything DC Multiverse. And what are your thoughts on the Starro the Conqueror collect-a-build wave for Target? Who do you think the other 3 figures are going to be? And will you be participating? I'm waiting for Man-Bat. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm really waiting for the Man-Bat figure. But I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember, the Batman of Zur-En-ARHH means Batman, and Zur-En-ARHH is Zorro in Arkham. It's a whole thing. You got to read the whole comic book to really grasp it. And when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.